All right, I think I'm live here. I've got everything going on. And I remembered to hit record. Here we go. It's a great day for disc golf podcasting right here, right now. That is for sure. Let me back up a little bit here, get this microphone in the right spot. Welcome to Joe's Disc Golf Podcast with your host, me, Joe. That's me. So creative, ever so fancy schmancy here, hanging out, chilling, talking about disc golf, talking about the challenge at Iron Mountain. It was insane. It was a good time there. Oh, I almost spilled my coffee, reaching for my mouse. Don't put a cup of coffee right next to your mouse. It usually won't end up well for you, but it was definitely a good time. Um, let's see. What was I going to talk about? Wow. Words are hard. Delaware disc golf. Good times there. And why can't I? Wow, words are really hard here. I hope everybody had a great week, had a great weekend. Hopefully, you got out there, played some disc golf. I know that I did. I got out there quite a while, um, quite a lot this week actually. Playing in league, playing in amateur match play, doing some stuff there. If you didn't check that out, that was on my Twitch channel because, as I found out, as you may or may not have noticed on Twitter and Instagram, that you cannot live stream on YouTube from a mobile device unless you have at least 1,000 followers. Well, I do not have 1,000 followers. I have 558 as of last looking. So if you guys want to help push me up that 442, that would be fantastic because 42 is the meaning of life. If you understand that reference, you guys are awesome. If you don't, well, I highly suggest you read A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Great book series, fantastic. 5 books in the trilogy, and that's how it was written. Don't at me on that one. That is how it is. That's how it goes, man. That's just what it is. It's what it is. The disc golf this weekend. Oh boy, personally speaking, it was hot, humid, muggy, sticky, buggy, itchy, but fun. Had a lot of fun. Played the match play. Met AJ. Him and I were the state finalists for the amateur match play. He actually had to earn his spot. My bracket, I was the only person, so he had a tougher battle to get there, and he did a great job. He ended up winning. He is 4 up after 22 holes. We played a 24-hole course, so that meant that was it. I lost. I had to win out just to force the tiebreaker. And for any of you who followed some of the tiebreaker stuff or some of the stuff that was going on in our club in the Fort Wayne area, we did a match play tournament, 64-man bracket, March Madness style. And there was only one time where I finished my match play in regulation. Otherwise, every other one went at least one hole for a playoff. It happens. I went, I think in the final round that I played in, which was the final four, I went 23 holes, 24 holes out of a 19-hole course. Something like that. No, 22. 22. Math is hard, okay? Math hard. Me no count good. Me just janitor. That's okay. I'm watching a lot of Scrubs, so there might be a lot of Scrubs references here. Sorry, I keep looking off to my right-hand side here, just trying to make sure everything is up and running. For some reason, as I was trying to get this stream started, YouTube told me that I could not monitor my stream, could not log in to live stream because only the channel owner could do that. Last I checked, I was the channel owner. I don't know. Thank you, YouTube. After that, came home and played a whole bunch of fun Sunday night sanctioned singles at Sweeney West. All the alliterations with the S's. That was a bunch of fun. It about the last 3 holes, it started to rain. And then in the last 2 holes, it started to rain sideways. It's raining sideways. As Ollie with his forecast there. Tons of fun with that. Did not get a chance to watch much of the Delaware Disc Golf Challenge, the Iron Mountain. I was able to watch some of the post-produced stuff. A lot of fun there. Super wooded, super challenging, tons and tons and tons of fun there, and great stuff there, including Zach Melton qualifying for USDGC, so that is a positive there. Team DD guy and local Bob Ross. Got some bad news too. Jeremy Coling is going to be withdrawing from the next couple upcoming tournaments. Got some something to talk about there. Uh, got some opinions on that one. Not about him in general, but just about the state of our sport as it goes on and gets bigger and bigger, and injuries become more prevalent. So, I'd like to thank our sponsor sitting behind this press board desk. Log. What rolls downstairs alone or in pairs rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and it fits on your back? It's log, log, log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log from Blammo. Thank you all. And if you haven't noticed, I know I've put the link in at least the Twitch chat. Let me see if I can get the link here in, because it is permanently posted there. If you're following along here, you can check out the Discord server, Joe's Disc Golf Discord server. You don't have to do anything. It's free to join, and it's a great way to chit chat. We got a couple people in there. I try to leave it on. Usually it says I'm logged in on my phone. Okay. Message retracted. What's up and good morning to you, Aaron. So if anybody is interested in joining the Discord server, I'll also have the link if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast. That will also be in there. That is always in the link there, along with a couple other links there, including to Coinbase if you want to learn and trade crypto for very, very cheap. Learn about it. You follow the link. If you spend, trade, or sell any combination of that of $100 worth of crypto, you get $10, I get $10. It's a good deal. And I think you also get like $30-ish of various different cryptos out there just by learning how they function and all that, and taking like a 2 or 3 question quiz. They're not hard. Trust me, I passed them. You don't even have to watch all the videos. Trust me on that one. So that's how that goes. But it is a good time with that, and damn it. So unfortunately the built-in chat with the with YouTube live stream is not wanting to function, so I have to use the pop-out chat, and every time I click a different window, it disappears, and it is rather annoying here. YouTube and your live stream stuff just sucks. I don't know how else to say it. So let's see if I can get something here fixed. This is a new problem too. This isn't like something I've been dealing with this whole time. This is something that is a new problem that has just started right now. I know I've complained about YouTube live streaming recently, but this is brand new where it's like, all right, thanks. What's up? Sweet. Good job, YouTube. I'm proud of you. They do a great job for all the other live streaming, but let's get back into disc golf here. Let's get back into disc golf and start talking about our first topic. Our national champion, well, the Delaware State champion here for the Delaware Challenge, Connor O'Reilly. He had a great round out there. He had some great rounds out there. Put a great tournament together there. Golly, wow, I am struggling. I'm sorry. I am if I sound also nasally, that's because I'm getting a bit of a cold here. No, I don't have the Rona. But Connor O'Reilly takes it home with a combined 22 under par after 3 rounds, taking home a healthy $4,450. Second place was Austin Hannum, and also tied in second place was one Richard Wysocki. Ricky Wysocki. That is just how they put him in. That is his official name there with the PDGA. And on the women's side, Katrina Allen just totally dominated. It was the Katrina Allen show from the word go. because she jumped out after round one to a one-stroke lead over Holly Finley and Kona Starpanis, and then after that, she said, "Screw you guys, I'm taking this home." She won a healthy, hefty $2,000. Um, as our sport is growing, money is becoming the pots are becoming bigger. Unfortunately, not all of them have uh, reached the same levels as certain different other tournaments, but we're getting there. I think that's one of the things that's going to be changing here in the near future is the purse for the men's and women's side are going to be growing. Now you might be saying, "Hey, there's some disparity there. Why did first place on the MPO side make double what the FPO side?" Well, there were almost triple the players, and that's why. More people play in your division, more money you're going to get, more payouts are going to give. It was 85 to 26. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. But as I said, with added cash coming in and people putting more money into there, with like I said, the added cash to different tournaments. I mean, look at what was it? Oh, it was right after Texas State's. It was a B tier in the Houston area that added 30 grand to it. They're basically like, yeah, you're not going to give us A tier or pro status like the Pro Tour series. So we're just going to treat it like a pro series and we're just going to give 30 grand into the purse. I don't know if they split it up 15-15 between men and women or what. I haven't looked at it. It's been a while. That was way back, all the way back in the far, far off distance of April, I believe. Maybe even March because of that. Um, but that's just how that goes. One of the other things that I thought about, I heard this on, oh, was it Grip Locked? The guys from Foundation Disc Golf talking about changing up the tour and how they could possibly change it because as they pointed out, and I'd never really realized this, there's no real southern swing. If you really think about it, yeah, you hit Jonesboro in Alabama, and then you get Texas, but you don't really have anything in Florida or Georgia, in that area, down in South Carolina, some of those states in the southeast. And I think that'd be a great time to get some of those in. Would be in February, March, that time. Uh, maybe reorganize the way certain things go. I was looking at trying to come up with a different way to organize it. Maybe add one or two tournaments in there. That might be something I look into over the next couple days here. I will have some free time on my hands. I say that sort of with a child on the way here, officially coming here in 2 weeks, and we'll see how this goes. Might have some time there, some sleepless time to come up with a pretty harebrained scheme on what the Pro Tour should change it to. I'll be curious to see how that all goes, just in general. Um, but hey, whatever. One thing that cannot be missed is Austin Hannum's ace, best forehand ace according to GK Pro. And let's take a quick look at that. Hopefully I can get this all up and running like I think I can. Let me. Nope, nope. There we go. So 400 foot, par 3, hole 15 at Iron Hill. I mean, look at that. That was a crazy shot right there. How's this going to go? How is this going to go? Spoiler, it's an ace. But we got stepping up to the course here. Got a nice forehand grip. Lets it rip. Flying up through the trees, slicing through. Nice little turnover there. It is flexing back out and hits the front of the cage, bounces in, and sticks right there. That was awesome. That was a good one there. Now, how do you follow that up? It stuck. Nobody knew it stuck right off the bat. That was 400 feet away. That is insane. Team Prodigy with a great set of players there, especially with James Conrad. It was a very good one. Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just repeating the title. That's about all I can say there. That might be the best forehand ace I've seen on camera, like you said. Um, but oh, good. Screw you, YouTube. Apparently, no one's watching anymore, and my bitrate is 0, but yet people are talking to me. Screw you, YouTube. That might be on their cameras, the best ones that they've seen. I don't know. That's always a fun one. Forehand, I love forehands, but then again, I'm a forehand dominant player. I've picked up a few discs. This is just kind of segueing here to another great ace that happened this weekend. Kale LaVisca's ace to win the B tier Brewport Open, and he was one down going into the 18th hole. Kale stepped up to the 384-foot par. I'm gonna guess par 3. Instagram's telling me to log in. Fine, I will log in. I just want to watch this video. Yeah, sure. Come on. Whoa, no. Why? Why won't you just let me watch this, please? Please, 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 please. That's all I'm asking. Here we go. All right, so walk off. Beautiful hyzer shot. Goes out. Starting to come back into the woods here. Skips off the ground. Right in the basket. Hits the heart of the chains right there. I don't know how easy that was to see here. Walk off ace. He wins. It was a good time. It was a great time. I managed to just see that right there this morning, and that was kind of a last minute ad there. I wish there was a bit better video on that one, but hey, it is what it is. And thank you, Aaron, for letting me know that the audio is still good and the video is still good and that you're still here. I assume that you were here though. YouTube's live streaming is just not great. I've experienced worse, but that just doesn't mean that, like, you're telling me that no one at YouTube can just look at what Twitch is doing and go, yes, let's just do that. Why reinvent the wheel? But yeah, that skip was beautiful. Um, not not to try to take anything away from him. I had in the match play, we were towards the back. The guy I was with was saying, like, oh, this is a tough shot. You know, you got to have a real power forehand to get down there. It was like 350, wide open forehand hyzer, just wide open. He throws it, and it was a good shot. Don't get me wrong. And then I throw my Lucid X Chameleon Sheriff for the second to last time that day. Gorgeous skip, flashed the baskets. We both looked, and it was just, that should be, and it's probably a terrible angle, but it will be on my Twitch VOD, somewhere in the middle there. I'm going to try to find it. I need to download that VOD, edit it, see if I can get something on YouTube, a little highlight reel for the both of us, because playing with AJ was a good time. And that kind of stuff is always fun. I always like doing that kind of stuff. I don't know how I mean, there is some luck to it. Don't get me wrong. Kale's shot was a good shot. It was a really good shot. And I think there's just, when you get into the woods, there's a little bit of luck when you land. Just, it was coming in on that big hyzer angle, so he had the opportunity for the big skip. Now, I mean, we've all played in those different disc golf areas where, you expect a big skip. There's one park that comes to mind here in Fort Wayne that it's always frustrating because you expect a bigger skip and then you don't get the skip because they haven't mowed in quite a while, but you can't quite tell on some of the holes, or they didn't mow certain areas and it was rough and you just don't get the skip. So, it happens. And speaking of the skip, we're going to skip right into a section that I didn't have planned totally, but I picked up a few pieces of disc golf history here from as I mentioned last week, the defunct Quest AT disc golf company, who shut down after some issues with the PDGA, revoking one of their discs that was originally approved. Now, this is not it. This is the Raging Inferno, which you can tell on the video here, it is dimpled like a golf ball just around the rim. And supposedly that would help it to fly better. This is a Speed 14, and this is all according to Quest. These are the numbers printed right onto the back, hot stamped right onto the back. This is a Speed 14. Now, I have gripped a Speed 14 disc before, and what most would consider a Speed 14, I would put this as like an 11, 12 maybe, tops, because I can get a nice solid grip on this. And if I grip a 13, most companies 13 speed, I don't have a great grip. I have stumpy little fingers here, a little full of sausages, full of sausage. And yeah, it has a turn of 2 and a fade of 2. Now, if you've noticed, I didn't mention the glide. Well, that is because this thing will glide forever, if you believe the marketing. This has a glide 12. This thing should never, ever, ever fall out of the air. And yet, I had an interesting time throwing it. I'll say that. It was much like the Mislin and the Rakuten, which I did videos way back in like January or February about that one. Um, but the problem with those was if you didn't get them up to speed, they were crazy overstable, like most discs. But as soon as you got them up to speed, they were crazy understable. That was the thing, is that there was no consistency. It wasn't like, okay, well, I don't have a fast enough arm for that. Which I don't. I don't have a fast enough arm for that, but I was able to throw it kind of into the wind. And I looked at other reviews and why other pros weren't throwing it, because if you got it right, and I had one or two throws that were gorgeous, and they just kept on going and just damn near set a PR. I think I might have set a PR temporarily and then broke it with another disc, but it was one of those where it was like, okay, this disc is so finicky that you can't rely on it. You get a pro, you say Eagle McMahon has the arm for this. Definitely has the arm for this. But if he throws it and then there's a slight breeze and it goes from normal to crazy understable and flips over and goes Lord knows where, that's not a good thing. Granted, like I know that most of those guys can take care of this, but this disc is so unpredictable. Now, this one, the Raging Inferno, is a little more predictable. However, I was having a hard time getting it to flip to flat without turning over. At one point, I had thrown it on a forehand and threw it, let it go at about a 45-degree angle. It flipped to flat, flipped over, and then turned into a roller and landed almost vertical. It was insane. I've never really done that with a distance driver like this. The closest I got was the Dynamic Disc Captain, which is a pretty flippy disc, but that is consistently flippy. Like you know what you're getting. I think the dimpling on this is I get what they're doing. They're looking at what golf has done to help with the stability of a golf ball. It's just not working right for disc golf and the rim. I think someone much smarter than myself should probably look a little more into that. I also got the very popular, this is the controversial disc. This is the disc that caused Quest AT to no longer produce discs for the PDGA and get them PDGA approved, and that is the Turbo Putt in the classic condom color. It really is. If you're watching on video, this looks like a condom. If you gotta believe me when I say this, if you're listening to the audio only, I please don't hurt me now, YouTube, because I said that. I have a feeling that YouTube's gonna hurt me. If you notice, the reason why that it was discontinued or not approved, it was approved and then not approved, which it still says here, approved 6/5/2007. Holy crap, that's like couple weeks before I graduated high school. Anyway, this was made in the USA. Turbo Putt. It's got these grooves so you can put your fingers right in nice and easy. And you've got a thumb track all along the inside, this little spiral pattern. This is part of the other reason why it was not approved. So you can adjust where your hand is, adjust where your thumb is on this thumb track, and get a better grip just on it. and you can throw a turbo putt. That's something I used to do. Yeah, I think I've heard of the Diablo disc before that had a dimpled rim. They're difficult to control, in my opinion. At least the ones that I've done. Now, the Michelin and Rakuten it was like a crossed etch pattern on it. It wasn't necessarily dimpled like that, but it was the same idea. That got approved. I don't know why. Yeah, but it wasn't a great disc. But the Turbo Putt, like, I can really like. I actually really like this, to be completely honest. As soon as I find where I can put my thumb comfortably. But that is something I want to try to get out there. Try to, whoop, maybe right about there. Eh. Try to see how good I can get with throwing a turbo putt with the turbo putt. However, there is the Turbo Putt 2, which is a very similar disc and yet should be PDGA approved ish. It's if you can tell on the video, it has like the edge of the rim is smooth and rounded, where the Turbo Putt 1, it looks like a beer cap. It looks like a bottle cap right there. This one does have a little bit of that right on the edge here, but it's more underneath the flight plate rim ish, more underneath the rim. So I believe you can get away with it. This one has not been approved yet. The other thing about the Turbo Putt is it's 125 grams. It is incredibly light. I believe that's below the base, but I don't know if there was a floor to begin with when that was going on. Now, I've got the Turbo Putt 2, which has not clipped the nipple in the middle. It is like half an inch long. It's insane. But what you're supposed to do, and it is angled, I don't know if that's on purpose or if that is just the way things are, but you've kind of got these grooves underneath, and you've got a nice little thumb grip right there, and you can really wail on this thing and get a turbo putt out of it. Again, that's something I want to try to do, see how that goes versus what I used to turbo putt with, which was a polecat, a G-Star polecat, and it was pretty good. I had some success with it. Then I joined Team Trilogy and couldn't use that anymore and have not found a suitable replacement. The reason I really like the polecat is because if you've never thrown one, the polecat, the rim is dead flat. Like it doesn't taper off, it doesn't round off like normal putters do. It is straight. It comes to the end and it squares off and it goes down and it's great. It 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 was fun. Like I like throwing it. So I'm thinking about stopping the Team Trilogy only because there are a few discs that I really want to throw that aren't in the Trilogy lineup and they don't have suitable replacements, including the Penrose, which is a great putter, throwing putter that Drew Gibson is contractually obligated to throw because he signed a single disc deal with the um oh, who makes that? I know it's the Penrose. That's the name of it. Great putter. Blanking off the top of my head here. But that was pretty good there. So yeah, that's the Turbo Putt. And the final disc that I managed to get here was this just really cool infinite disc. I don't know what it is. There's no name. There's nothing on it. No PDGA. It does have weight. It's 167 grams. It was flew a lot like my Raider, so a touch less stable than a destroyer. At least the way my Raider flies and the destroyers I've thrown. It's a good disc. It's a disc, but it is not PDGA approved. There's no markings on it, so you can't throw it. But let's be real. This stamp looks really cool. I only threw it a couple times, and it's gonna go hanging up on my wall, much like the Raging Inferno, Turbo Putt 1, and Turbo Putt 2. Technically, I believe, even though the Quest AT is inactive, I looked it up. I believe because this is PDGA approved, you could throw the Raging Inferno. I don't know if you'd want to. It's 174 grams, and it even has instructions on the inside. Ultra light, great for downwind and low wind. Heavyweight, great for headwind. So I believe this is just supposed to be a crazy flippy disc. That's all I got on that one. Sad news. This is where I could use your guys' help sometimes because on occasion I miss things. Things like I try to follow people on Twitter and Instagram and get notifications that way. I try to check Ultiworld and find out who's dropping out, who's doing what. But if you guys are in the Discord channel, you can always pop something in there and say, "Hey, did you see that for instance, Jeremy Colling had to drop out. Unfortunately, he had to withdraw from the Delaware Challenge because of a knee injury." And this is a quote straight from his Facebook page. This is annoying. This is annoyingly the third time I've had to drop out of playing Iron Hill due to injury. Dislocated pinky finger sometime around 10 years ago, sciatic nerve pain in 2019. To put into to put that in perspective, I've only dropped out of any other event in my career due to injury once. This time it's due to a knee injury that I will be diagnosing as soon as possible. My hunch right now is a torn meniscus. This is my favorite and historically best finishing stretch of the season, and I'm starting to fear that I will be watching the action from the sidelines. Sad to see that Jeremy Colling has a knee injury and potentially a meniscus injury. The good news is about a meniscus injury, if there is any good news, those are relatively quick to fix. And if you, depending on how things go with a little bit of rehab, he could finish his season and come back. Now, I know he is not as young as some of the patients that I deal with, but generally, if it is a meniscectomy, so they go in, they cut out the torn part, you're back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, probably. I'm getting like I've gotten people back in a week. That's like, but that's also 18-year-old college athletes. And Jeremy Colling is not 18 years old or a college athlete. He's in decent shape, but the older you get, the longer it takes to recover. That's just that's just the facts of life right there. That is nature. So 2 to 3 weeks, he could be back. I know that's 2 to 3 tournaments, depending on how fast he can even get in. Now, if they do a meniscal repair, that's a couple months, and he's going to be, unfortunately, out for the rest of the season at that point. But that's just how that goes, unfortunately. This is where I'm getting on my soapbox and saying that they need sports medicine professionals on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, on the PDGA, on the national tour. Someone, athletic trainers, relatively inexpensive, for someone to be on site to go, here you go, here's a quick check. I can tell you right off the bat with fairly good certainty if you've torn your ACL, if you tore your rotator cuff, if you've torn your labrum in your hip or in your shoulder, if you tore your meniscus. That's something I can do. That's something that my wife will not let me do because there's no way in hell she would let me ever travel around the country with the Disc Golf Pro Tour. But there are people that you can do that. You can even contract local athletic trainers. You can use this fantastic app called Go for Ellis, where it basically is just the Uber of getting athletic trainers. Now you have to plan these things out, at least a couple weeks in advance so you can get someone, and you can expect to pay. Well, actually, I don't know what their fee structure is and everything on the other side, but generally speaking, on the user side, average pay is around $25 to $30 an hour. So, it's going to cost you some money, but it's going to give you peace of mind. It's going to have someone there who can help with that. And guess what? They can help with emergency medicine too. Athletic trainers are qualified to do a whole bunch of different things from first aid and whatnot. So what's great about having an athletic trainer on site is, someone, eats it hard on hole 13. I'm just pulling a number out of my butt here. Someone eats it hard on hole 13. They're all scraped up and cut up. Athletic trainers there, they've got all the tools and equipment to clean up all the cuts and scrapes and everything else like that. Do a quick evaluation on them, find out if they're able to continue to play, whether or not if they land on their hand and foosh, fall on outstretched arm, outstretched hand, foosh, not fusa, foosh, and you break your wrist that way. Or you have an incident like this where Jeremy Colling thinks he tore his meniscus. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. His previous injury, where he had his sciatic nerve pain, that's something that with some stretching and manual therapy, you can usually get someone to finish. Now, I don't know which side it's on, and that could really affect his plant leg. And, I'm just armchair quarterbacking, but these are things that you can do. Now, his dislocated pinky finger, if that's on his throwing hand, which I'm 100% guarantee dislocated pinky on his throwing hand, not on his um offhand. If it was his offhand, he wouldn't care. He would have played. That's something there. And disc golf strong is not a bad option. Disc golf strong is um not sports medicine. Disc golf strong is personal training and getting people healthy and fit to compete at higher levels, which that's great. That is what we need. That's what's in every other sport. But what every other sport also has is an athletic trainer who is a sports medicine professional, not a personal trainer like Seth Muncie. I was blanking on his name there. Which, looking into a bit of his background, he did work for the Anaheim Ducks. And so I know he worked with an athletic trainer, and whether he hires someone onto his staff as an athletic trainer and offers that as a service, or the Disc Golf Pro Tour goes, hey, look, we're trying to get this up to the next level. You bet the PGA Tour has sports medicine people at the very least on call, right there, able to help people. That is something that I think, with the nature of the sport and why disc golf would need it more than ball golf, is because look at places like Delaware. Iron Mountain is crazy hilly, crazy insane there. Look at Northwoods Black and some of the other courses. Now, you might not need someone there necessarily for like Las Vegas Challenge, where it's pretty much wide open and the odds of someone getting hurt like that are pretty small. But in these wooded courses with all this stuff going on, like it's a good idea to have a sports medicine professional there, someone who knows what's going on, knows the body like that. And like I said, disc golf strong is not it's not the right answer for this. It is a good service. I want to make that clear. It is a good service. It's just not the right service. Unless they add someone on staff like that. And no, physical therapists can't do this. They don't have the emergency medicine training. That's how it goes. And now I know there are a lot of physical therapy athletic trainers combined. That's fine if you want to do it that way. That's great. Things have changed with education, but that's a whole different soapbox that I'm not going to step on today. But that's why they need someone like that there. And they're by far more affordable than having a paramedic, more useful than having a paramedic, because we're also trained in similar things, like we can't do IVs, we can't do things like that. However, the odds of you needing a paramedic service versus just regular athletic training services where someone gets injured, sprains an ankle, you get them crutches, get them ace wrap, they're good to go. You don't need to call an ambulance, most likely, for that. That would be something, that I think they should look into. That is just my personal opinion there and how things are going. And my nose is starting to get really stuffed up here. Oh, trying to fight through this here. But we're going to move on to the next topic as I'm getting more and more stuffed up. The European Disc Golf Network. Actually, it's going to be the Disc Golf Stream Network. It is actually just launching right now. The tournament director of the biggest disc golf event in Europe, Tuni, and the PDGA TD of the year in 2017. I'm going to butcher this, and I apologize. Miko Wickman will act as the European Tour manager and work alongside with the natural born disc golfers. I'm really going to butcher this one. I'm sorry. Yuka Kito, Juha, Juha, Kito, Kyto with two little dots above it. I apologize hardcore for mispronouncing both of your names. Our own professional tour access across Europe has been in our minds since I started working with E.D.G.E around 2016, Wickman said. couple years ago, we put things forward and started the NBDGX tour, which is the first big step in getting comfortable with working internationally outside of Finland. Our good work got not only all of the players moving, but our partners too. The idea of professional tour in Europe was also suggested to us by our partners around a year and a half ago, and we put our first gears forward with European Pro Tour. So that's going to be pretty cool over there. They're also going to be live streaming, doing basically Disc Golf Network in Europe, which brand new startup thing there. They've got 7 tours tournaments on the books that they're going to be covering, and that will be Disc Golf Stream. You can sign up there. That will be $100 for the year, and they did use dollars, so I'm pretty sure that's what that is. There could be a little miscommunication there if it's actually euros or something along those lines. But right now they say it is $100 per year to watch the European disc golf scene, basically. They will have some stuff. I believe they're going to be following the model very closely of Disc Golf Network, where Sundays, generally the final round, will have free streaming on their YouTube channel, which you can find them on YouTube. I believe it is NBDG Media. They're doing a great thing there. They have 7 events, and locations and dates are still being negotiated. This is just in general. The Pro Tour for next year, the 2022 events. The final schedule will be released hopefully soon here. You'll have the Tuni Open in Finland, the Turku Open in Finland, Estonia Open, the Swedish Open in Sweden, the Estonia Opens in Estonia, in case you didn't know that. Norwegian Open in Norway. The Danish Open is in, oh my gosh, it's in Denmark? Who knew? The Danish Open in Denmark. And the EPT All-Star is in Spain. That's the only one that you don't know. They need to set up, they used to, before COVID hit, they had the President's Cup, I believe, where it was, I forget the style, I forget if it was match play or how that went exactly, but it was the top men and women on both, from both Europe and the US playing against each other in, I think it was an every other year thing, if I remember correctly. Let me do a quick. There we go. Let's see. All right. President's Cup, European. European Open, Nokia, Finland. All right. Past champions here. It looks like 2006. There's 2007, 2009, 2010, 11, 13, 15, 17. It looks like they kind of rolled into an every other year type thing. Because it was 2006, 2007, 2009, 2010, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, which was pretty cool. In the most recent one was 2019. 2021 is not going to happen, I believe. Yeah, it was supposed to be it was supposed to be played. This is from the opendiscgolf.com, apparently. Haven't heard of these guys before. The President's Cup is a prestigious event between the United States and Europe. The two teams are pit against each other to resolve which one is the best disc golf continent. The 2020 President's Cup is a special one, and it is the 10th edition of this great event. The President's Cup will be played in Nokia on July 14th, 2021. That did not happen because of the pandemic. Maybe next year. That's going to be my guess. The most recent one, they had the most recent team for Team Ford USA in 2019 is Nate Sexton, Katrina Allen, Greg Barsby, James Conrad, Kevin Jones, Paul Macbeth, Eagle McMahon, Paige Pierce, Ricky Wysocki, Jeremy Colling in reserve, Hannah Macbeth in reserve. On the Team Ford Europe, I apologize ahead of time to my European listeners because I'm going to butcher the crap out of this. Yanni Krisamaki was the captain. Henna Blumroos, Sylvania Gage, Simon Lazat, Vino Malake, Timu Nissanen, Carl Johan Nibu, Evelina Solonin, Jalastur, Leo Pirinen was in reserve, and Kristen Tatar was in reserve. Now, I have this odd feeling that uh, the President's Cup this year would be very close. I believe that just looking at the women's lineup on the European side and how Kristen Tatar came over here, dominated for the couple weeks that she was here, just completely killed Paige Pierce and killed Katrina Allen and all of our top women, and she is currently ranked third in the world. Third. Behind two other European ladies that I'm blanking on their names right off the top of my head. So I think on the women's side, we're getting annihilated. Completely annihilated. I think on the men's side, I think the men would win. I don't know exactly how the scoring goes with that. I don't remember if it's match play or if it's straight up head to head and just total strokes overall. But it's a pretty cool thing. Hopefully next year we can get a President's Cup there. The 10th anniversary or 10th President's Cup for disc golf would be great to have. But who knows? Who knows where we're going to be next year? I'm not sure. But I believe that's all I've got. Thank you, Wallstar, for dropping in here at the end here. Sorry that you missed out on most of the fun times here, but you can go back and catch this video on demand on twitch.tv/Joe's Disc Golf. You can also find me on the social medias at Joe's Disc Golf or /Joe's Disc Golf, depending on what you're trying to contact me on. But as always, remember to thank Treesus next time you get a great tree kick. And if you end up deeper into the woods, reflect and repent because you have transgressed against Treesus in some form or fashion. Thank you all for watching. I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Again, there is a link to the Discord channel, which I believe did pop up. I'm going to put that one more time. I'm not sure if that's the same link or not. Might have to update my Nightbot chat thing. If you want to come over and chat, let me know about breaking news that I may or may not be able to see all the time because I only have one set of eyeballs and work not with disc golf for a living yet. Thank you all for watching. I can't wait to see you all, talk to you all in the next video. Have a great one.